email from the CEO. She's a woman. Yes. Never assume. And it'll say, Dana, congratulations. Due to your hard work, I wanted to surprise you with 2 tickets to Pitbull in Miami next week. Why would I not open that? Why would my immediate first thought be, is this real? No, my first thought is, thank you for recognizing hard work. So then I click the link. And it's so shameful because you can't just click the link and it says, Dana, this is a phishing email. Next time, please don't open it. Here are the key factors that you missed. And here is a training so that you don't do this mistake again. Instead, you open up this email and it's flashing. Basically, it says, you stupid, dumb moron. We knew that you couldn't be trusted with something like this. Wait, it's not that deep. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I was going to sing that, but then I decided not to, because what could be worse than turning someone off from this podcast before it really even begins, before I've even gotten to dive into my spiel. Before I get into my spiel, I wanted to make a huge announcement. I am going to try not to say the words like and this entire podcast. Why? Because I'm better than you. No. It is something that saying like and makes you sound stupid. And that's a general fact. When you fill your words with words such as like and rather than just taking a pause, it does not say amazing things about you. It does not bring up a high quality smell, right? I will make videos pretty frequently and I'll watch them back and I have said the word like 19 times. And it's hard because you have to slow down in order to remove those words from your vocabulary. And slowing down is something that's really difficult for me. It's something that I don't like to do. I go fast in everything but running. My mind goes fast. I act quick. I act on first instinct. And having to take a pause and thinking before I speak is not something that I'm good at. I've never really been good at it. I say what's on my mind when I want to say it. Has it gotten me in trouble? Yes. Yes, it has. It has frequently gotten me in trouble. But there's a difference between speaking your mind and speaking up. I think sometimes you don't always need to speak your mind. If it's for a cause that you care about, speak your mind. Speak your mind. If it's about how you think somebody should be dressing, maybe don't speak your mind, right? There's a difference. But I was in a work training a few months ago, and this training was completely unnecessary. And I am a big fan of corporate trainings. I get a thrill of getting 40 of my coworkers in a room, doing icebreaker questions, role-playing a sales call. It is so funny to me because, not that I don't take it seriously, but there's a comedic aspect to it that if you don't focus on that, you get really uncomfortable and it becomes a very odd, awkward scenario for everyone. And so when these sorts of activities are brought into my lap, physically brought into my lap, I thank my lucky stars. And also, I don't mean a corporate training like a fishing training. Fuck those trainings. I am so likely to get caught in a fishing training because I'm so adept to what I'm trying to say here is I get fished a lot. And I think that my company sees me as a number one target of someone that's going to give up company secrets. Not because I have a lot to share, but they'll send out fake emails. They'll send out an email that says, "Hey Dana, it's from the CEO. I feel, oh my gosh, this is amazing." I'm trying not to say the word. It's really hard. But I'll get an email from the CEO. She's a woman. Yes. Never assume. And it'll say, "Dana, congratulations. Due to your hard work, I wanted to surprise you with 2 tickets to Pitbull in Miami next week." Why would I not open that? Why would my immediate first thought be, is this real? No, my first thought is, thank you for recognizing hard work. So then I click the link. And it's so shameful because you can't just click the link and it says, "Dana, this is a phishing email. Next time, please don't open it. Here are the key factors that you missed. And here is a training so that you don't do this mistake again." Instead, you open up this email and it's flashing. Basically, it says, "You stupid, dumb moron. We knew that you couldn't be trusted with something like this. Did you seriously think that you were being invited to a Pitbull concert by your CEO on a Tuesday afternoon? Take this phishing practice because clearly you are going to ruin everything." Now, is that how it's read or how it's interpreted? We'll never really know, but it has happened a few times. I remember my VP had sent me something. It's always concert tickets. I'm so down to fall for something like that. But yeah, I don't, when I say I love a corporate gathering, a corporate event, it's not an online corporate event. No. And don't send me a Zoom happy hour. I'm not going to be happy. And I'm not going to attend. And it's not going to be for an hour. It'll be 10 minutes. I'm going to pretend to chug tequila and everyone is going to feel scared. That is what is going to happen. That's what I wish I did more during COVID. People ask, "Do you have any regrets of COVID?" Yeah, I regret not making my coworkers worried about my drinking during COVID. That was a huge missed opportunity. I had the floor almost weekly. We were doing these happy hour bi-weekly. Weekly, depending on the team. Some of the more exclusive teams had it weekly. But you had the opportunity to just, chug. It was very normal. What are you drinking? I love that flavor. God, kill me now. It was fun though. For what it was fun. So we did this corporate gathering at my company and it was a corporate training. So someone got brought in, this professional of how to do sales. And when that bitch talked, I listened because she had experience. She knew how to command a room, except she talked with her hands a lot. And she said that was a good sales tactic. And I said, no, it's actually very distracting. And then she said, "Well, how are you using your hands when you talk that you feel it's distracting?" And then I explained to her using my hands how I use it. And basically my fingers just start going in whack different ways. I'm almost playing left, right, center with my fingers while I am talking. And she explained to me that maybe that could be distracting. Try if you're talking, keep your hands clasped or keep them open to receive. And I said, that's not really in my nature. She said, "We're going to have a time, Dana, you and I. We're going to have a time." So we had a cup of Coca-Cola. She poured the cup in and she said, "This is good language. This is good language." And then she had us all put a cup of water in it, a few drops of water. It doesn't matter. Put a few drops of water in it. And she said, "These are words that represent filler words such as like, It's really just like an So we poured the water into the Coke. And what do you know? The Coke got lighter and lighter and lighter that it became very obsolete. What's the word? It was pretty clear. And what also was clear was that these bad words made the Coke not as clean, not as consistent, and not as delicious. And then she told us that was a metaphor. And that's when I started to lose faith in her, because what kind of exercise was this? You gave me a crisp Coca-Cola and now it's watered down and not bubbly. I asked if I could have another Coca-Cola to sip on and she said no. So she was on my shit list. But using those words, it's, why do we do it? Why do we, is it that I'm moving so quickly that I just need something to fill the gap. I think if you really just take an extra second to think about it, you can change your vocabulary and sound a bit brighter. And I experienced this with stand-up when I forget what I want to say. And it feels like the time between when I lose my train of thought and when I find it, it truly feels as if 25 seconds have passed me by. And when I watch the video or when I talk to my friends and family afterwards, they have no idea what I am talking about because everything looks very smooth. And as long as your body language remains composed and you don't start spinning out of control, that is how it's going to come off. No one is thinking you're talking at a slow pace. You're talking at the pace that you want to talk at, but you're just putting a little bit of more effort into it. That was a little bit of a tangent, and I really enjoyed going on it. So I did just get back from Colorado, and it was very fun. What also was fun was coming back from Colorado and everyone saying, Dana, how was Colorado? That's funny. And that's a big part of not having a separation between church and state, aka my personal life and my work life. I'm posting everything, and I like that people can reference it. Or do I? I don't really have a choice at this point. But I had just a good time with friends. I think if you're not surrounding yourself with people who are making you belly laugh, you're not around the right people. Right? Like, what's the... Damn it, Dana. I think that was the first time I said it. Please, please. Officer, don't arrest me. Belly laughing is just important. It makes you feel so good. And so we went to this gorgeous town called Golden in Colorado. And we did a day trip. And I went to this thrift store. And shopping is so interesting to me. It's something that I enjoy doing by myself, because I can go at my own pace. I can call my friends or my mom or my sister if I need an opinion on something, but typically I'm fine deciding it on myself. Usually if I need someone's opinion, it's a no. I've never been unsure of something and then ask someone and they tell me to get it and then I get it. I usually feel good about something and then I send it to them only to get their reaction of, wow, where did you find this, you boss ass bitch? Verbatim. That is what they will say. But I can usually tell if something is a stay or nay. So we go to, okay, I think so is another one. I just stopped talking. I banned myself from all of these words. You cannot talk for 27 hours. That is more torturous to me than 127 Hours, the movie by James Franco. Ugh, that movie was so gross. I would not survive in that situation or not talking for 27 hours. My mom has laryngitis and she told me that she couldn't talk. I was like, that's my worst nightmare. It really is. So we go to Golden and we go to this thrift store. And I'm shopping, and there's 7 of us. It's really difficult to shop with 7 people. Also, when I am shopping with others, I find myself following somebody else. Picture you shopping with a friend. What role are you taking on? Are you leading or are you following? And I do think each person is a leader or a follower. Not in life. Your shopping persona can be different from your real life persona, because my real life persona, I am a leader. But my shopping persona, I am a follower. I don't know what to do with myself. If my friend goes left, I'm probably going left as well. Because if I'm with someone shopping, I want to be with them. But then all of a sudden I recognize that I'm breathing down my friend's neck. And they don't always love that. But so there were different nooks. I go in, it smelled like a vintage store. I love a smell of these old things, And so give me the mothballs up my nostrils. I go into this one section and I see this, almost it's a racing coat. It looks like something my grandpa would have worn. It almost is kind of a bomber jacket, but there's some slack to it. And not to mention there is some swag to it. There's hints of red, black, white. It's like a motorsport racing jacket. It looks fucking fire. I pick it out and I try it on. It's a perfect fit. Cinderella's foot could never. It fit me like OJ Simpson's glove because it did fit. And not up for debate. And so I showed my girls because I felt confident in it. I said, they are going to scream. They are going to shriek when they see me in this racing coat. I put it on and they did not disappoint me. My girls were hyping me up. I can't imagine having friends that when you show them something that you like, they say, oh, and then keep going. I mean, those are just not your people, period. But they were head over heels in love. And then the next question is, how much is it? And it was affordable, and it was something that I was willing to spend because I know that I would wear it, and so I bought it. Okay. Here's the thing with buying vintage things or things from vintage stores. We have no idea where it actually came from. We cannot track it via a Wikipedia page or a FedEx UPS tracking number. We kind of just have faith that this is vintage and this is class, right? If something's in a vintage store or a thrift store, it's almost as though this has gotten great use. This is probably from the 80s, and this is what we call couture. And so the jacket had a lot of names on it that I didn't recognize from the sporting community. And typically I don't care, but I wanted to look it up. So I look it up, and I shouldn't have. Because lo and behold, this jacket is accessible. Not just in Colorado. International, bitch. This jacket is international. It's available on Amazon. Amazon. Are you kidding me? I have a jacket that I thought was one of a kind that I could actually just order in 1 to 3 business days and it would be at my house. I'm pissed. Did I return it? Absolutely not. I'm obsessed with it. But that's the thing with vintage is, what is vintage? At the end of the day, vintage is just something that somebody didn't want. And that's not that deep. It's not that deep for your vintage things to just be things that people didn't want. It didn't need to be from the 80s or the 70s. I mean, I'm telling people it is, obviously. No, I don't gatekeep. I've actually never gotten so many compliments on something in my entire life. I wore it in the airport yesterday and today at work. People were flipping their lids. So it is unique that people don't have it and they've never seen it before. But because I have a big fat mouth, when they tell me that they love my jacket and I say, thanks, I got it in Denver, and then they tell me that that's upsetting to them because they would love to have it, of course I'm going to tell them that they can get it on Amazon. If they were just admiring it because they think that their sister would like it, I'm not telling them. But I don't gatekeep. If someone tells me they like something and they want it, why would I not tell them where to find it? But here's the thing with vintage stuff, vintage clothing. When you have a piece of vintage clothing and someone says, oh my gosh, where did you get that? I love it. You tell them it's vintage. And then they be quiet. So I don't actually know if this is vintage, but I do know that I like it. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I wanted to also talk about how we talk a lot in life, at least I talk a lot about how reality TV is so produced these days. And I think that with social media, reality TV has reached this point of no return, where people are more brutal than ever. They have screens to hide behind. They have the internet to dig into whatever they wanted to about the people that subject themselves to reality TV. And people are just negative. They're just negative. And of course, there's those lights of positivity and the memes and really funny things that come from reality TV. But that's just on the outside of reality TV. The people on reality TV, I feel, have lost it a little bit too, where of course people that are going on reality TV want to be famous. That's no secret. And I also don't think that's anything to be ashamed of. Why does anyone do anything, right? If they want to do acting, if they want to do modeling, if they want to have their business promoted, if they want to grow their online presence, why wouldn't they go on reality TV if that is something that they want to do and feel comfortable doing? That's not the only way to get all of these things, obviously, but I do think that it is interesting the routes that people are able to go now that these are accessible, right? Like back in the day, I want to know who the first big person on social media was, because that went on reality TV, who kind of put the two and two together. Okay, if I'm trying to do X, I should get on reality TV to gain a following. I mean, I think back to watching The Bachelor, Bachelorette back in the day before Twitter was a thing and Instagram was huge, and just watching these women, and a lot of them have podcasts now. A lot of them are doing brand deals. And is that where they saw themselves back then? I don't know. Were they going on for love? I mean, there's so many different things, but I think it's interesting what people's motives are, but that conflicts a lot with the audience's response to them also, because you can go on and try to get, let's say, more followers, and then you end up being hated. Was it worth it? I don't know. But I was thinking back to the first kind of show that I watched that when I look back, I think that is so produced. This is such a fake show. And that is American Idol. American Idol is so fake. And they throw in these really talented people, yes. But at the end of the day, they need to make an entertaining show. And I miss the blissfulness of watching American Idol and not thinking like, oh, damn it, Tina. And not thinking that was so produced. Or why is that person on? Oh, probably because their uncle is a producer. Or they suck their way to the top. No, that's always been happening pre-social media. But they would have such bad people trying out. And you can see when all these people are trying out for American Idol, they're lined up around the block, hundreds and hundreds of people. And then the worst people ever would get on to sing for Randy, Paula, and Simon. And not once did I think, why did this person earn it? Oh, because they were making a TV show. And then Randy, Paula, and Simon are just characters. Who are they? Randy, they told him, just act like you smoked some weed and you're listening to your buddies sing. They told Paula, be a bitch, but be passive about it so that people don't think you're a bitch. People think that you're nice. And then they told Simon, I need you to be the most hateable person, but only for people to grow up and realize you were the only honest one. He was just honest, and people hated him for that. And for that, I actually stand with Simon Cowell. Because whether or not that was his character that he was playing, or if that was really him, he saved people. I mean, Kelly Clarkson probably wouldn't be where she is today if it was not for Simon Cowell. Paula could have been bitchy, but then everyone would have said, she's such a bitch. What a bitchy woman. So she had to do it in passive, and which everyone said, Paula's so nice. They could have just done it with Paula and Simon, honestly. They should get some Real Housewives to judge. They would be so honest. And you need honesty because it's a singing show. But at the end of the day, they just want ratings, and that's okay too. I did have a American Idol t-shirt, and I don't know where I got it from, but speaking of vintage, honey, that invented vintage. And I love that clothes are coming back now. The clothes that we used to find disgusting, guttural even, are now coming back. I never really understood. I don't understand fashion. I don't understand when. I mean, I guess the runway stuff is fashion. You know what I mean? I understand what looks good and what doesn't look good, but when trends, like trends is something that kind of confuses me, because why don't we just like what we like and wear what we enjoy wearing? Who fucking cares if this is not a trend anymore? And who's determining the trends? I do feel it's the Kardashians, but on a realer sense, who gets to control this, and why is that fair? Someone said the other day, "Oh, cheetah print is in." In? When was it out? I've been wearing cheetah print since college. My first work outfit for my agency job, I wore cheetah pants. I didn't feel I was stepping outside of the box. I was just wearing what I liked. Chokers. I was down the shore this summer. I passed a guy. I was wearing a choker and he said, "Are chokers even in?" It's like, bruh, you're literally gay. Only a gay man wouldn't ask me if chokers are in. It's the same exact thing as the scene from Legally Blonde when she's tapping her patent leather shoe. And he knows that those are patent leather shoes. Why? Because he's gay. The pool man is gay. But men don't have trends. I also was thinking this the other day. I passed a barber shop, and I see this man laying down peacefully with shaving cream all over his face, and an old Italian man shaving his face, getting close to the skin, but not too close where he's getting nicked. What a pleasant experience. I think he had a bourbon in front of him. That's the men's hair removal process. The women's hair removal process is literally putting hot wax on our bodies and then ripping it off with a piece of paper. I just need you to understand the difference between the men's hair removal and the women's hair removal. If I could sit at a barber shop, spread eagle, and have them thinly shave my vag, I would, because us women go through absolute hell to be hairless. And these men are here in a little smock and they get a little lollipop afterwards. Oh my God. We have to sit butt ass naked. Even if we're getting our mustache waxed, we have to sit. We have to bare bones to society with this woman who doesn't want to be there, and she's dipping a pop stick into a hot melted cauldron of blue wax, wrapping it around, slobbing it on your knob, letting it cool, asking if you have plans for the weekend, and then before you know it, it is so painful. I think that we should be more like men in that sense, and in that sense only. But hey, just remember, buying things vintage is not that deep. And most importantly, please make someone happy today. Even if it's yourself, don't forget to make yourself happy. And I hope you do something you love. And I hope you listen to something you love if it's not this. And have an amazing time. And thank you so much for listening.